Welcome back to week 4 of creating your comic. This week we're going to be thinking about how we transition from one scene to the next, and then we're going to be adding in the use of sound to create mood and impact. In comics, one panel will show what's going to happen and the next panel shows the aftermath. The space between the panels is called the gutter. If each panel's an idea, the gutter's job is to be the space between the ideas to give the reader a moment to absorb the contents of the first panel before connecting that idea with the contents of the next panel. The gutter is essential for comics to be successful because it allows closure to happen. Scott McCloud describes closure as observing the parts but perceiving the whole. This is important within comics because they're a medium that does not allow for actions to take place in real time. So for this first exercise, we're going to use a blank sheet of paper and we're going to have the children draw an exciting place where they went on the weekend. They're drawing their own picture in this exercise, and it needs to be somewhere that everyone would recognise when people would see it, so include symbols and objects that you would see at that place. Get them to draw it from a long distance away, big picture view, because this brings in the idea of perspective. So the size of items and people would change depending on how far away they are. So yeah, grab a blank piece of paper and get the kids to draw somewhere they went on the weekend. Okay, let's have a look at the pictures of your rock climbing in your supermarket. And what if you showed the camera, what can we see? We can see the lines, Luna. We can see the rock wall too. And Mum's got the checkout operators and the aisles. So we know what those places are.
And this part was the thing where I hold onto the bar and then it pulls me up and then I let go there and then I'd slide down onto these mats.
That's so cool. All right. Now get the kids to think about the craziest thing that could happen, like a plane crashing into where they've just drawn or an alien landing. And using a blank page, get them to draw that same place that they went on the weekend after the event has happened. So this might be a closer up view showing what happened and offers a chance to use perspective. And it shows them the importance of using a gutter to transition their story, demonstrating that the action happens in the gutter. Our imagination transitions us in that gutter from the before scene to the after scene. So between the two panels, something's happened and you've drawn a picture of what happened. What was that, Luna?
So there was this guy on his way to rock climbing, and then he found a crystal on the ground, and then he picked it up and put it in his pocket, and then he went to rock climbing, and then he was halfway up a wall, and then a unicorn smashed through the wall, because when he picked up the crystal, what he didn't know was it was a special unicorn's crystal.
Cool. What happened to the supermarket?
The aliens came from space to look for food.
Cool. All right. One of the coolest things about comics is that even though they are a silent medium, sound is represented. We employ sound through images, and so we see the sounds visually. The most common sound trope is the word balloons or speech bubbles with a point that connects them to the person speaking. But we can also use the shape of the word bubble to imply screaming or loud sounds. And so the next idea we want to bring into the comic is the use of sound. Have a bit of a discussion with the kids about what sounds they would hear if they were in the picture they just drew. How sound affects the mood of the scene to make the reader feel like they are there. So have a little bit of a discussion with them now. So have the kids add some sounds that they've discussed into their picture, pointing out the shape of the word balloon around the words can give impact and mood to the words as well, and bring us into the feel of being in the scene with them. Buzzing scanners, bells ringing, motion lines to a sound. Go wild. So we've added some sounds to our scene. Luna, what sounds got added to yours? Do you want to hold it up?
This guy's the most scared is because he's the guy with the crystal.
And so what's he saying?
He's saying, ah!
That gives you the mood.
And the pew 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 is like from the unicorn's laser coming out of his horn.
Okay, and what about the other little guy?
And the little baby down here is going, oh, and
Cool. Bron, what's happening in yours?
So there's fire alarms going woo. Some people screaming, saying ah. This little girl saying that's cool.
That's me! That's me!
And they're thinking about food.
Only you would think aliens crashing into New World was cool. Great, cool. Thank you for joining us this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Next week we're going to be starting on the panels for the actual comic. We'll be drawing on all of the images and ideas around sound that we've built up over the last few weeks, and we'll be creating the first and second panel in the story. Hope you join us next week. Thanks.